In 4 years, from 1861 to 1865, the United States was torn apart in a way it has never been before and has never forgotten since. Brothers fought brothers, cities burned, an entire social order collapsed, and more Americans died in this war than in all other U.S. wars combined. But why did this happen? How did it get so bad? And how did this brutal conflict remake the United States into the nation we know today? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we're diving into the complete story of the American Civil War, its origins, its heroes and villains, its turning points, its brutality, and its lasting legacy. The roots of war. To understand why the nation collapsed, we need to start with a simple truth. The Civil War was fundamentally about slavery. For decades, the North and South were moving in completely different directions. The North was industrializing, factories, railroads, immigrant labor. The South was built on plantations, cotton exports, and nearly 4 million enslaved African Americans. But slavery wasn't just an economic system, it was a political battlefield. Every time the U.S. gained new land, one question exploded. Would slavery expand with it? Compromises were made, then broken. Tensions rose, then boiled. And in 1860, Lincoln was elected president without a single Southern state. For Southern leaders, this was the breaking point. They believed slavery, their social order, their wealth, was in danger. So one by one, Southern states seceded, forming the Confederate States of America. The United States was now two nations on the same continent. And the spark that lit the war? The war begins. On April 12, 1861, Confederate forces fired on Fort Sumter in Charleston Harbor, the first shots of the Civil War. Lincoln responded by calling for 75,000 volunteers. More Southern states seceded. The war had officially begun, and almost no one knew how devastating it would be. The sides and their strategies. The North, the Union, had massive advantages. Huge population, railroads, factories, a powerful navy, but it lacked good early leadership. The South, the Confederacy, had experienced generals, home field advantage, a fiery belief in their new nation, but almost no industry, almost no navy, and almost no ability to replace losses. Their strategies? The Union wanted to suffocate the South, blockades, capturing rivers, cutting their territory in half. The Confederacy wanted to survive long enough to gain recognition from Britain or France. Only one side would be right. The first blood. Most Americans expected a quick war. Then came Bull Run. Spectators watched from picnic blankets until the Union Army was sent fleeing in panic. The shock was national. This was going to be long and bloody. Then came the Peninsular Campaign, Stonewall Jackson's lightning maneuvers, Lee's victories at Second Bull Run. For a moment, it looked like the Confederacy might actually win. And then came the bloodiest day in American history. Antietam and the Emancipation Shift. September 17, 1862, Antietam. In one day, 22,000 casualties. No other day in American history comes close. It was a tactical draw, but a strategic Union victory. Lee's invasion of the North failed, and it gave Lincoln the moment he'd been waiting for. Enter the Emancipation Proclamation. It didn't end slavery immediately, but it transformed the war's purpose. The Union was now fighting to preserve the nation and end slavery. The Confederacy lost all hope of British or French recognition. and hundreds of thousands of enslaved people fled to Union lines. Many joined the army. Their courage reshaped the war. The war's turning points. In 1863, two events changed everything. First, Gettysburg. 3 days, massive armies, heroic stands, and Pickett's charge, a doomed assault that shattered Confederate hopes of invading the North. At the same time, thousands of miles away, Vicksburg fell to General Ulysses S. Grant. The Union now controlled the entire Mississippi River. The Confederacy was split in two. Gettysburg and Vicksburg, the North now held the momentum, and one man would use it ruthlessly. Total war. In 1864, Lincoln gave control of all Union armies to Ulysses S. Grant. Grant's strategy? Simple, relentless, brutal. Hit the Confederacy everywhere at the same time. Grant hammered Lee in Virginia. The casualties were horrific, but unlike the South, Grant could replace his losses. Then came General William Tecumseh Sherman. Sherman captured Atlanta, then made one of the most controversial moves in American military history: the March to the Sea. 60 miles wide, destroying railroads, supplies, factories. Not civilians, but everything that fed the Confederate war machine. It broke Southern morale, it broke their logistics, it broke their will. The end. By 1865, the Confederacy was collapsing. Food was scarce. Cities were falling. Desertion was rising. Union forces captured Richmond, the Confederate capital. And on April 9, 1865, in a quiet home in Appomattox Courthouse, Robert E. Lee surrendered to Ulysses S. Grant. The Civil War was over, but its consequences were only beginning. What the war changed. The Civil War reshaped America permanently. 1. Slavery ended. The 13th Amendment abolished it nationwide. 2. The Union became a united nation, not a fragile collection of states. Federal power surged. 3. Nearly 4 million African Americans began a long fight for rights. Reconstruction brought hope and resistance, violence, and backlash. 4. Modern warfare was born. Rifles, trenches, railroads, telegraphs, ironclads. And most haunting of all, over 620,000 soldiers died. More than any war in American history. The Civil War wasn't just a conflict. It was a transformation, a rebirth, a test of the American spirit that still echoes today. If you want a deeper dive into any battle, general, or hidden story of the Civil War, make sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more. History explained like never before.